What's the show everyone wants to watch on pay-per-view?
Highest ratings, higher than the Super Bowl.
A comedy directed by Ron Howard.
We're going to put one person's life on television.
What happens when you go to the bathroom? Do they go in with you?
A show about a guy named Ed.
Morning. Mad.
Starring Matthew McConaughey.
He's checking out his own butt.
We are go for sex, people.
Yes, go!
The television premiere of Ed TV. Order it at home on pay-per-view.
A new century is coming, and with it, 1,000 questions. Will your family ever be in harm's way? Will a small town in Texas be hit with a hurricane? Will your daughter ever need a new kind of blood treatment? We have no crystal ball for the world that awaits. Just one promise. We'll be there.
Back to Speak Out Live. Don't forget, November 2nd, next week on Tuesday, we will have the Political Roundtable. We'll replay it on election night. That's Tuesday, 7 o'clock. Join us here on Cablevision 2445, your neighborhood channel. All right, Mayor, we've got to talk a little bit about politics. You've got 2 more years on your term.
Right.
You're definitely going to run again.
Yep.
You heard it here first, okay?
Yeah.
It's kind of an announcement. And is Mary Rose going to run against you? Is Tim McCormick going to run against you?
You know, Kate, I don't think about who's going to run against me. My job is not to beat anybody. I think my job is to go out and say to the people of Cleveland, I've been your mayor for 12 years. Here's where Cleveland was when I became mayor. Here's where Cleveland is today. Here's where I would like to take Cleveland in the next 4 years with your help. This is my vision. If you think someone else's vision is better, I respect that, but if you elect me, here's where I want to go.
Do you think that you had to deal a little bit with George Voinovich's kind of warm and fuzzy? You know, he would kind of go out to lunch with people, and you know, he was not necessarily the change agent that you have been, but he was certainly more approachable in a lot of ways, and that's people's perception.
Right.
Did you feel that you had to deal with that when you came into office?
Well, I think, first of all, people do not completely appreciate how difficult it is to be a change agent. You know, Kate, everyone wants progress. If you walked out right today and interviewed 50 people and you said, you know, sir, ma'am, do you want progress? Everyone would say yes.
It's like getting the yes or no vote out.
But if you interviewed them again and said, well, do you want change? Said, well, I don't know if I want change. But you can't have one without the other. The airport, huge changes taking place at the airport. Everyone wants progress. Everyone wants to get to the rest of the world, but no one wants that change. I'm not going to say to you that I always have the best idea. I think consensus is important. But at the end of the day, there's got to be a goal, and you've got to drive toward that goal and do the greatest good for the greatest number.
Do you have any problem with Mary Rose working for a Republican?
Well, I think that's going to be a decision of the Democratic Party, and the chairman of the Democratic Party is going to have to make a decision about. I think it's kind of hard, on the one hand, to chastise someone for doing it. On the other hand, you know, you hardly hear a whimper from the chairman of the Democratic Party about it. But that's something that the party is going to have to decide.
Okay. Bernard from South Euclid, go ahead. You're on Speak Out Live.
Yes, hello. Mayor Mike White, on career day, my son said he wanted to be the mayor of Cleveland. He's seen you on Channel 5 not too long ago, and he was extremely impressed with you. Could you give him some tips? I know he's only 7 years old, but he was extremely impressed with you. He said, Dad, who is this guy on TV? I said, that's Mike White. He's the mayor of Cleveland. Please talk to him. He's listening now.
Thanks for your call, Bernard.
Thank you.
Well, young man, I want to just say to you that when I was 14, there was another man that I was looking at on TV. It was a 14-inch black and white Zenith. That gentleman was named Carl B. Stokes. He was running for mayor, and it's because of what he did when I was 14 that I chased that same dream for 24 years. If you have that dream, I say chase that dream. But please know that if you're going to catch it, you've got to prepare yourself. You've got to stay in school, you've got to believe in yourself, you've got to believe in God, and at all times you've got to be the very best that you can be. And lastly, at the end of the day, you're going to have people who will love you and who will support you. And you're going to have some people say, Mayor, you'll never make it. If that's what you want to do, you chase your dream to the best of your ability. And by the way, good luck.
Do you want to hold higher office?
Have no interest.
Okay. Phones. Gordon from Cleveland, go ahead.
Yes, Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I want to condemn you on, not condemn you, but I mean, I want to congratulate you for the great job you've been doing in the city of Cleveland.
Well, thank you very much.
I know it's a very hard job and very tough decisions to make, since you got so much people out there really we're trying to bash you. I think that you're doing a great job.
Well, thank you.
My question is this. As far as a city worker, I work for the city of Cleveland.
Yes, sir.
And I'm a seasonal. And my question is this, is that right now there's about 64,000 people, I guess, I was reading in the Plain Dealer, soon to be off of welfare, no insurance and so forth. And I'm working for the city of Cleveland, and when I'm laid off, I have to go to those sources to get medical attention as far as medical care. I would really love to get full benefits. I'd just like to know, when are you going to start hiring seasonals, and what are you going to do with about the welfare reform?
Sir, let me try to answer your second question first. We are involved in 3 activities as it pertains to putting Clevelanders to work. It's our JTPA program that has been running for a number of years. We spend about $10 million a year. We have placed hundreds of people in jobs. Second is our TANF program. We're waiting to receive about $8 million from the state through the county in order to proceed with a specific program designed to assist people to get off welfare. Thirdly will be the WIA, which is the new forerunner to the program that will come after JTPA that is designed to do much of what JTPA has done on a more expanded basis. I happen to believe that the very best thing that we can do as a community is to put everyone to work who wants to work. In terms of City Hall, I can't tell you that when we will be hiring more seasonals. As you know, it is based on either our spring activity or our winter activity, but if you check with the Public Service Department, I'm sure they could tell you.
Can we go back to the phones? We have another caller. You're on. Okay, our caller just disconnected. Also, Mayor, what about this Brown season? Can we get on a lighter note for just a second? I mean, are we going to win soon?
Well, I think we're going to win. I don't know, Kate, whether it'll be this year or next year, but you know, I think we have to keep everything in perspective. This team did not exist 6 months ago. These men who play this game every Sunday were all over the country playing on all these different teams. Some of them were playing at colleges. They've been thrown into one team. All the coaches are brand new. The system is brand new. All of what we're seeing is brand new. They're not the Minnesota Vikings. They're not the Green Bay Packers. They're not the New York Jets.
Not yet, at least.
So we've got to give them time to develop. I don't know if you've ever planted a fruit tree, but if you plant a fruit tree, you don't get apples the next year. You have to wait.
That's true. This is true.
And we have to support them.
Mayor, if you have someone on your cabinet that you think is not pulling their weight, are you apprehensive to fire them because you're feeling that you've got a lot of public relations issues to think about and worry about?
I think people at the end of the day are going to not judge me by one newspaper article. I think they're going to judge me based on their belief or lack thereof in me, and they're going to look around the town and ask those questions. The easiest thing in the world, you know, the Plain Dealers made a big deal out of people who are here, people who are gone. But the easiest thing in the world, Kate, is to fire someone. It doesn't take much time, it doesn't take much energy, it doesn't take much concern. My biggest job every single day with my staff is to be the very best coach that I can be. The very last thing that I want to do is to fire anyone. I have a basic rule. I want you to come every day and give the people of this town the very best that you can give them. They deserve that, and they have not always been given that. If you make a human error but you did your best, you're never going to have a problem for me as long as we don't have one a day.
Right.
But if you make an error because you were lazy, because you didn't care, because you'd rather stay at home than come forward, because you didn't act like a leader and you do it consistently, then you're not going to be around. And I want to tell you, I don't apologize for that approach. It's the same approach at IBM, the same approach at Eaton, the same approach at TRW.
Okay, we only have a little bit of time yet, but what's your greatest accomplishment and your biggest regret during the 10 years? You got to do it in less than a minute.
Greatest accomplishment, I believe, is finally getting a broader role and involved in the schools. Greatest disappointment is the, I think, continued inability for us to communicate the true picture of what we're doing at City Hall.
And you hope that in the next 2 years...
We're going to make neighborhoods first a household word on every tongue in all parts of Cleveland. I thank you and good luck with this baby.
Thank you so much for coming, Mayor White. This was really a treat. Next week, don't forget, we'll have the election night. This has been Speak Out Live with Mayor White. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.